What's up, everybody? This is Tech G back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining to you exactly what the POP3 protocol is. So let's get into it. The Post Office Protocol version 3, which is commonly known as POP3, this is one of the most widely used protocols for retrieving email from a mail server. And in this video, we're going to dive deep into what POP3 is, how it works, its advantages and disadvantages, and its role in a broader context of email communication. All right, so let's begin with exactly what is POP3. So once again, POP3, this stands for Post Office Protocol version 3, and it is a standard protocol used by email clients to retrieve email from a remote mail server. It was developed back in the 1980s, and POP3 was designed to support offline email processing, allowing users to download emails from the server to their local device and then read, organize, and respond to them without needing a continuous internet connection. So exactly how does POP3 work? So understanding how POP3 works, this involves looking at the basic workflow and the commands used during the email retrieval process. And the basic workflow goes something like this. So you have the connection establishment. So the email client establishes a connection to the mail server using the POP3 protocol on port 110 or port 995 for a secure connection using POP3S. Then you have the user authentication. So the email client sends the username and password to authenticate the user. Then you have the mail retrieval. So once authenticated, the client retrieves the email message from the server. And then we have the deletion from the server. So after the emails are downloaded, they are typically deleted from the server, although this behavior can be modified. And then we have what is called the connection termination. So basically the connection between the client and the server is essentially terminated. All right, so moving on, let's talk about some of the advantages of POP3. So POP3 offers several advantages, particularly for users who need to manage their email offline. And here are some of the key benefits. So once emails are downloaded to the client, the users can access them without an internet connection. And this is particularly useful for users with limited or intermittent internet access. You have reduced server storage. So since emails are typically deleted from the server after being downloaded, server storage requirements are minimized, and this can be beneficial for email service providers and users with limited server storage quotas. There's simplicity. So POP3, this is a straightforward protocol, making it easy to implement and use, and its simplicity can lead to faster email retrieval compared to more complex protocols. And then there's privacy and control. So the emails are stored locally on the user's device, giving users complete control over their email data and potentially enhancing privacy. All right, next, let's talk about the disadvantages of POP3. So despite its advantages, POP3 also has some significant drawbacks that can affect its suitability for certain users and environments. And the first is that of limited synchronization. So POP3 does not support synchronization of email across multiple devices. So once an email is downloaded to one device, it is no longer accessible from other devices unless specific configurations are used to keep a copy on the server. Then there's server-side limitations. So since emails are typically deleted from the server after downloading, users cannot access their email history from different locations or devices without taking additional steps to save or forward messages. There's no folder support. So POP3 lacks support for organizing emails into server-side folders, and all emails are downloaded into a single inbox, requiring local organization on the client side. And then there are security concerns. So without encryption, POP3 can be vulnerable to interception and eavesdropping. Now, while POP3S addresses this issue, it is not universally implemented. All right, so let's move on and talk about POP3 in comparison to IMAP. So the Internet Message Access Protocol, or IMAP, this is another popular email retrieval protocol that addresses many of the limitations of POP3. So comparing POP3 to IMAP is going to highlight some important differences. And one of the most important differences is synchronization. So unlike POP3, IMAP does support full synchronization of email across multiple devices and emails that remain on the server and can be accessed and managed from any device with an internet connection. Then there is server-side management. So IMAP allows users to create, delete, and organize folders on the server, and the server-side management makes it easier to maintain a consistent email organization across devices. Then there's partial downloads. So IMAP supports partial downloads, allowing users to download only the headers of messages initially and then retrieve the full content if needed. And this can save bandwidth and speed up the email management process. And then there's multiple mailbox access. So IMAP allows simultaneous access to multiple mailboxes, making it ideal for users who need to manage several email accounts or shared mailboxes. So while IMAP offers greater flexibility and functionality, it does require a continuous internet connection for most operations, which can be a disadvantage for users with unreliable connectivity. Additionally, IMAP's complexity, this can result in higher resource usage on both the client and server sides. All right, so let's move on and talk about secure POP3 or POP3S. So given these security concerns associated with unencrypted POP3 connections, secure POP3 or POP3S, this was developed to provide a secure method for retrieving email. In POP3S, it uses SSL TLS to encrypt the communication between the email client and server, ensuring that the data remains confidential and protected from interception. So exactly how does POP3S work? So the first part is the SSL TLS handshake. So when an email client connects to the server using POP3S, an SSL TLS handshake is performed. And during this handshake, the server presents an SSL TLS certificate to the client for verification. Now, once the handshake is complete, an encrypted connection is established, and all subsequent communication, including authentication and email retrieval, occurs over this secure channel. And the encryption, this ensures that sensitive information such as username, passwords, and email content is protected from eavesdropping and tampering. Now let's quickly talk about configuring POP3S. So to use POP3S or POP3 Secure, both the email client and server must support SSL TLS. Users typically need to configure their email client to connect to the POP3 server on port 995, which is the standard port for secure POP3 connections. Additionally, users may need to enable SSL TLS in the email client settings and ensure that the server's SSL TLS certificate is trusted. All right, so let's move on and talk about some practical uses of POP3. So despite the emergence of more advanced email protocols like IMAP, POP3 remains a popular choice in certain scenarios. So we have limited internet access. So POP3, this is ideal for users with limited or unreliable internet access. By downloading emails for offline access, users can read and respond to messages without needing a continuous connection. Also, in environments with limited server storage or bandwidth, POP3 simplicity and reduced server load can be advantageous. POP3, it is well suited for users who primarily access their email from a single device, and the protocol's limitations on synchronization and server-side management are less impactful in these cases. And then users who prioritize privacy and control over their email data, they may prefer POP3 as it stores emails locally on the user's device, reducing reliance on remote servers. All right, next, let's talk about configuring an email client for POP3. So setting up an email client to use POP3 involves a few key steps. So here's a general guide to configuring an email client for POP3. So first thing you want to do is open your email client settings. You can access the settings or preferences menu in your email client. You want to add a new account. So you want to select the option to add a new email account. You want to enter your email address, username, and password. In some clients, they may automatically detect the correct server settings based on your email address. Then after you do all that, you want to select POP3 as the email retrieval protocol. And then you have to enter your server information. So you want to enter the POP3 server address, and then you want to enter the SMTP server address for sending emails. And after you do all that, you want to enable SSL TLS encryption for the incoming and outgoing connections if supported. You want to set the incoming mail server port to 995 for POP3S. Then you want to configure options for mail retrieval, such as whether to leave a copy of messages on the server or delete them after downloading. And then after you do all of that, you want to save the settings and test the connection to ensure that the email client can successfully connect to the POP3 server and retrieve your emails. All right, so let's move on to talk about the future of POP3. So as email communication continues to evolve, the future of POP3 is uncertain. Now, while POP3 remains a viable option for certain use cases, the increasing demand for multi-device synchronization and advanced email management features has led to a decline in its popularity. IMAP and other protocols such as the emerging JMAP are increasingly becoming a preferred choice for many users and organizations. However, POP3 still has its niche and may continue to be used in specific scenarios where its simplicity and offline access are highly valued. Then we have what is called JMAP, and this stands for JSON Meta Application Protocol. So JMAP, this is a newer protocol designed to modernize and streamline email communication. It aims to address some of the limitations of both POP3 and IMAP by providing a more efficient JSON-based communication method that is easier to implement and maintain. In JMAP, it supports real-time synchronization and is designed to work well with the modern web and mobile applications, making it a potential successor to both POP3 and IMAP in the future. And then we have legacy systems and compatibility. So POP3's continued use is also supported by its wide compatibility with various email clients and systems, both old and new. And organizations with legacy systems that rely on POP3, they may continue to use it to avoid the complexities and costs that are associated with migrating to a new protocol. And then we have resource efficiency. So in some environments, the simplicity of POP3, this can be an advantage. Its minimal resource requirements make it suitable for lightweight or resource-constrained environments where more complex protocols like IMAP or JMAP may not be feasible. Let's talk about some best practices for using POP3. So to make the most of POP3 while mitigating its limitations, users and administrators can adopt several best practices. The first is that of enabling secure connections. So you want to always use POP3S, which is POP3 over SSL TLS, to ensure that data transfer between the email client and server is encrypted. And this protects against eavesdropping and man-in-the-middle attacks. And since POP3 typically involves downloading emails to a local device and deleting them from the server, it is crucial to regularly back up your email data, and this ensures that important emails are not lost due to device failure or data corruption. Also, you want to configure your email client to leave a copy of downloaded emails on the server for a certain period, because this allows you to access your emails from multiple devices, even if you are primarily using POP3. And since POP3 does not support server-side folders, you want to organize your emails using local folders and rules within your email client, and this can help manage your inbox and keep important emails easily accessible. And then you want to keep an eye on the storage space of your email client and local device. So you want to regularly archive or delete old emails to free up space and ensure your email client continues to perform well. All right, so let's go ahead and quickly talk about some real world examples of POP3 usage. So we have remote work environments. So in remote or rural areas with limited internet access, POP3 can be a practical solution for email communication. Users, they can download their emails when they have internet access and read or respond to them offline. You have small businesses. So small businesses with basic email needs and limited IT resources, they might find POP3 sufficient for their requirements. And the simplicity of POP3, this can reduce the need for complex email server setups and maintenance. There's personal use. So individuals who prefer to store and manage their emails locally rather than relying on cloud storage may opt for POP3. And this approach can enhance privacy and control over their email data. And then there's backup and archival systems. So POP3 can be used in conjunction with email backup and archival systems. And by periodically downloading emails from the server and storing them locally, organizations can create backups without relying on continuous server access. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this lesson up. So in conclusion, POP3, this remains a significant player in the realm of email communication. Its simplicity, offline access capabilities, and resource efficiency makes it a viable option for specific use cases, despite the emergence of more advanced protocols like IMAP and JMAP. Understanding the basics of POP3, its advantages and its limitations, this can help users and organizations make informed decisions about their email communication needs. Now, while the future of email may be leaning towards more sophisticated and feature-rich protocols, POP3's enduring presence in certain niches underscores its continued relevance. By adopting best practices and leveraging POP3's strengths, users can ensure efficient and secure email management tailored to their unique requirements. And as technology continues to evolve, staying informed about the latest developments in email protocols will be crucial. So whether you are a casual user, a small business owner, or an IT professional, understanding the role of POP3 in the broader landscape of email communication, this can enhance your ability to navigate and optimize your digital correspondence.